Okay, to make sure where my buttons are at so I don't do the same thing I did last time by basically shutting my phone off by accident when trying to remove it out of the stand. All right, first things first, my name's Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Supreme Ambient Light Rejection Screen Paint using ambient light rejection technology gain. Just trying to get all this out of the way as fast as possible because I got a lot to do today. I got to start working on the labels for the new screen paint. Got a lot of testing to go with that. I got orders I got to get out for my customer, tracking numbers to issue out, and I got to get a hold of my driver so I can find out when she is going to be available so we can get all these orders out the door. Now, I got to go feed my squirrels real quick because they're waiting in the backyard to go eat, but we're going to do this demonstration why you want to stay away from these knockoff projectors. And we switched the screens up. We have my Sony projector at 1,000 lumens, 720p, 600 by 800 res. Around $75, and then on the floor is the knockoff projector that I got from eBay. I paid about $95 for that projector. That projector is supposed to be 15,000 lumens at somewhere between 4K and 1080p. You spin the wheel, whatever it is probably whatever it is. All right, so real quick before I run out the door, because I got to go down here and feed my squirrels real quick, I'll be right back up. There's the measuring tape. Always present measuring tape. I'll show you that where my mini projector is sitting at right here. My Sony name brand is 13 feet away from the screen. Because when I do this demonstration, keep in mind, I usually have my Christie projector over here, which is around 4,300 lumens. But as I said before, all this technology has been tested outside. So inside, it's a cakewalk for it. Now we're just using only 1,000 lumens at 13 feet back with the screen bitted in windows and my lights on. All right, so I'll be back. I'm gonna go feed my squirrels real quick, and then I'm gonna show you what it's gonna really look like when some of you want to go near these knockoff projectors thinking you're gonna be able to fill that screen out. Keep in mind, this projector is supposed to have, the knockoff is supposed to have 4K or 1080p resolution, which means it's supposed to have enough pixels where if you pull that projector back, number one, it's going to have to be bright enough to pull the image, and number two, it's going to have enough pixels, because keep in mind, the farther that projector pulls back, that means those pixels are going to start to expand, and that's what they call getting the screen door effect, where you just don't have enough pixels to make up a sharp or bright enough image, and the picture becomes deteriorated where it actually just disappears. All right, where in this technology, you know, it just gives back to the projector. So I'll be back real quick. I'm gonna go feed my little ones, and then I'll be back up here and do this. Keys. We can't get out the door without keys. Keys. Oh, there, right there. Trying to get all this done out of the way because I got a crazy ditty. I got more orders that just piled in just a few minutes ago. So I got to get all these tracking numbers out. I already got the containers are coming in today. Contacted the driver. She has already made her date to come pick up the orders. So if you're making orders now, make them now because they will basically drop off on Friday. What else has to be done? And I got a few other things that have to be done, which has nothing to do with this right here. But I do have to order another screen for the gold technology we have standing behind us, that gold AU79. I got to build a frame for that. Actually build a screen. I'm going to customize the frame. It's going to be something interesting. So I have to actually paint and redesign the frame before I can actually build the screen. So that's going to be something completely on its own. And then we have a plexiglass version to do also. That's a whole lot to do. I have people keep coming up and saying, hey, Bird, what about this projector? What about that projector? This is the R57 or the 94 or the P27 or the 84. You know what I'm talking about. The knockoff projectors. They're all trash. I'll just put it that way. I only seen one of them. I can't say they're all trash. I only seen one of them that was able to work on the 8. The rest of them, if I haven't seen them work on the technology, I ain't going there with a 10-foot pole, and I advise you to stay far away from them. Because keep in mind, if the projector was working so well, you wouldn't be contacting me. And the first thing they contacted me is I can't see the screen because when I turn the lights on, it washes out, fades, color washes out, blah, 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 blah. Well, the reason why that's happening is because your projector specifications aren't real. And if you have a legit projector, it's going to show up on the wall. The only problem is you're just going to lose contrast, color, and all the other good stuff that makes the screen pop. But I'll be back. Squirrels. Squirrely little monsters. Okie dokie. Now I gotta go in front and I gotta feed the cats. Where is the whistle phone out the door? Clean that up. Towel on my neck. Hey, keep this up down and start calling me Dr. Doolittle before I leave out of here. So we have people who walk their dogs right up and down this area because there's a whole strip of people to walk their dogs at. And the dogs are kind of thirsty, especially in the summertime. So what I do is I go out there and I got one of those, my garden hose is right here. I run it up along the side of the house right there on the corner. There's a gate right there. And I got one of those great big huge dog bowls that you can put water into, and it says full of water. It says free water. So, you know, when people are walking the dogs back and forth, the dogs can get a cool drink as they're going back and forth. So, you know, I do that for the animals and stuff like that. I feed a bunch of squirrels out back, and I feed 3 stray cats in front of my house. And I think a fox. So the fox comes out from time to time. If I forget to bring the dishes in, the fox comes out, the skunk comes out, and a few raccoons. About 2 come out. And then there's King Ralph, which I keep changing his name. And King Ralph is this giant raccoon that looks like the size of a hubcap. He's quite big, but he doesn't go in there and tear up the trash cans or nothing like that. He just goes out there and he eats his food and leaves. So what I do is I'll buy some corn or something he likes to eat, and I'll cut it up, put it at the top, and eat his food, and he'll go. That's it. Apparently, King Ralph eats from several people in the neighborhood, which I found out too. You know, he doesn't tear up anything, doesn't trash nothing. You come out there, he'll just look at you, and I think he's domesticated because you go out there and look at him, he'll look right back at you and just continue to eat. But I'll get a recording of King Ralph. You'll get a chance to see how big that joker is. When that joker comes through, all the cats disappear in the neighborhood. Because he's not a violent animal, he's just big raccoon, that's all. Really big raccoon. All right, so let's get back to business here. So we have over here, we got 2 projectors. We have a $75 projector, and the projector cost me $95. One's a knockoff, one's not a knockoff. The other one is saying that it's 15,000 lumens. 10K or 4K, I don't know about that one right there. For a minute. I just want to get into a nice comfortable shirt. I have these nice baggy shirts I like to wear. Nice comfortable shirt. I don't care if it's inside out, whatever. I'm not in a fashion show or anything, so who cares? All right, so this right here is my Sony VPL. So you can see it right up front. This is the VPL CS4 portable projector, SVGA 600 by 800 res projector. I had around 13 feet back, My screen's embedded in Windows, as you can see. Now, the reason why the projector is not filling out the entire screen, as I told you before, the Sony was manufactured in 1999. The projector only does 4.3. That is it. That's all. All right, so let's bring up some video. So we got running with some video over here as we recharge my phone. It's always the bottom button, but you keep forgetting. And I should have this with the charge over here because it would make it much easier for me to work. Bring everything over here, which will make it a lot easier for me to change the videos back and forth instead of me going back and forth to get the phone. Okie dokie. Okay. So my screen settle. There we go. All right, just waiting for the Cricut logo and all that stuff to pop up. I turned on, before I started the video, I turned on the fake projector first. You're not going to like the outcome of that one. It's going to be pretty bad. It's going to be pretty bad. I've never pulled it back to expand the size of a screen of 126 inches. You know, it claims it does 150 inches in the advertisement. I mean, if it's saying it's doing 4K and it's or 1080p and it's 15,000 lumens, you know, you would expect to be able to do a 100-inch screen or 26-inch screen with no problem whatsoever. And that's why I tell people to be careful, because they put a whole lot of bells and whistles in there. And people think, well, I'm getting this projector for like only around $95 or 200 bucks. I'm getting a really good deal. And you're not getting a real deal. You're getting a piece of garbage. You come off much better if you just go out and get a basic 720p projector that's not going to give you all the promising bells and whistles. The projector is what it is when you do name brand. All right, so let's go and do, let me see. All right, so we're going to switch over to a video real quick. We're not going to have any sound here. I think the only going to be the produced sound is going to be the whatchamacall. So this is at 1,000 lumens. And this is to show you by comparison on a projector like this for $75. Like I said, it's not going to be the greatest picture in the world. It's not. But compared to a knockoff projector, whew, man. Like one guy made a statement, it was actually really true. A lot of the knockoff projectors have plastic lenses. They don't have glass. And we're at 13 feet. So we'll do this one. And let me see. We'll just do some 4K fish in there. Now keep in mind, this is a data projector. When they came out, they were only designed to do 60 inches. They use these for basically, like I said, this was a projector designed for business. It was designed for mainly for like spreadsheets or demonstrations and stuff like that. They were used in the dark majority most of the time because the screens at that particular area were all white. Majority were all white, so they didn't use a lot of the technology we have now. And the biggest screen they were supposed to produce is a 60-inch, because that's pretty much all you would need if you were doing a presentation for work. So this is what we get with the lights on, and this is what we get with the lights off. This is at 1,000 lumens. All right, so now we got that. I'm showing you a little bit of that. Let's also try to pull up one more thing of it. I'm going to put another one up real quick. Let's go with the 4K food demonstration. Some random stuff. I don't want people saying, well, use 1,000 lumen projector in the demonstration. I should use 1,000 lumen projector. Keep in mind, this is what we test the technology on. If you go to our specification, under every screen paint we develop, there's a specification sheet telling you the requirement of projectors to get the best results. Inside is 2,500 lumens, outside the minimum is 3,000. We just do these for tests. All right, so let's go in here and let's pull up, let me see. Let's do some football highlights. Do a little bit of everything in here. I want some football highlights real quick. I do a lot of demonstrations before, a lot of them. And actually, no, I haven't done 1,000 lumen demonstration. Then you got the screens mixed up. This is 126-inch 16:9. You're talking about the 235.1 I have in the next room. The demonstration was done on that screen, not on this one. I have multiple screens. If you're, keep in mind, I hate to say this, not to be rude, but this has to be your first time watching this demonstration, because if you aren't the first time watching this demonstration, you'd have noticed that I have multiple projection screens throughout the entire house, and I do switch them up. The only demonstration I actually did with this projector on is the one in the back. I did it on 135-inch, and I've already done this on the 235.1. This is the 126-inch 16:9 that sits in the lounge. So I haven't done it on this one yet. All right, I had to put my data plane on. All right, there we go. We're back in. All right. All right, and we'll take this out, and then we'll put in, we'll just put in a movie real quick. Let's see, let's put in, well, of course I'm gonna do Tron, because I want to see the contrast levels. Always want to see the contrast levels. So let's see what we get off on Tron. So that's Tron at 1,000 lumens, 15 feet back. And keep in mind, this projector doesn't have contrast at all. There's no contrast rating. You didn't need it. It's basically, like I said, they were designed for PowerPoint. They were designed for spreadsheet. Why would you need a high contrast level? These are data projectors. They weren't used for that. All right, now let's go switch over to the knockoff projector, which I'm pretty sure you're waiting to see. All right, so we'll disconnect our Sony right there. The Sony. And you see how bright the image is when it comes off for a 1,000 lumen projector and the screen sitting in a bit of windows. I'm gonna let that play just a little bit more. I'm always impressed by the screen's ambient light projection capabilities. All right, so let's pause that there. We're going to come out of here. We're going to turn this one off. And we're going to bring in the 15,000 lumen projector. There's no way in the world you're going to get it. And I tell people, look, some people don't know. They don't know. They honestly don't know. They're the first time buying a projector for the first time, they don't know. It sounds like a sweet pot. Like if you go right now into eBay and you just punch in 4K projectors at 5,000 lumens, that's the major keyword right there, you will see a bunch of these projectors pop up claiming to be 5,000 lumens. And people will buy it. And I'll have people come up and contact me and say, no, you understand, I'll ask them first. When you order paint from me, two things I'm going to ask you. What's your screen size and what projector are you using? Those are two things I'm going to ask you. I need to know your screen size, I need how much paint to sell you, and I need to know your projector, whether or not it's going to work. Because that projector eventually will probably become a headache to me, because you'll buy it, you'll paint it on your screen, and you'll go, well, I can't see anything at all. Like the image is not coming up. But I got a 5,000 lumen projector. I should be able to see something. You don't have a 5,000 lumen projector. You don't even have anywhere near close to a 5,000 lumen projector. So let's get our knockoff projector. And I hate it when I see people on YouTube doing reviews on these crappy projectors. They go, it's got a real sturdy body, it's got a nice remote control with it. It's a piece of garbage. That's what it is. Because they'll do that demonstration on a white screen. And that's what you'll see these projectors being displayed on, a white screen. Every single time, it'll be a white screen. Now to display it on a white screen, and then sit there and say, well, I gotta hit this thing on the ceiling because I am not going to be able to see it there at all, period. Like it's not even coming up on the screen at all. That's how bad this is. Wow, pixelation is gone. So they'll say, well, I can see it on my white wall. Well, then if you can see on your white wall so well, why are you contacting me if it's working for you? Well, the color won't pop. Every time I turn the lights on, it washes out. The color's bland. It doesn't look like your technology. It doesn't pop. It doesn't explode off the screen. I need that black technology. Well, you can't use the black technology because your projector won't show up. And it's not. The projector's on right now. I'm actually doing, watch, I'm going to turn the demonstration on. Hear the sound? This is supposed to be 15,000 lumens. It's not going to show up on the white wall too well either, and I'll tell you why. Because the pixels are stretched way beyond. Let me try to see if I can bring it up a little bit. So I'll have to bring the camera in so you can see this. Hopefully you can see it. Let's see. Okay, we went to our category. Let's pull something up. Let's pull up the Samsung we did. See if you can make that out, if you can see that. Now, how is it that a Sony projector at 1,000 lumens can pull up an image, but that projector can't, and it has 15,000 lumens? Because when they make these projectors and they test them out, they do it on a white wall and they do it on a white screen. Of course it's going to show. But there's no color to it. It's washed out and bland. When you see the advertising for it, anyone's ever seen one of these projectors, you'll see screenshots of a family sitting around with this bright, beautiful color image. Even more perfect than a white wall. It's the beautiful, bright, 3D image coming out from the screen. This is what you're actually getting. This is why when they buy our technology, thinking they're going to get the same results because their projector's 4K and a fake 15,000 lumens, they think they're going to get the same image I'm getting off of Christie or any one of the cheap projectors I have sitting around in the shop. Maybe I have to get you a little closer to the screen so maybe you can see it a little bit. We're going to bring up the fish. Well, that's a car commercial. You can make out some of the car in there somewhere.
Get your absentee ballot today. Go to projectyellowstone.us. Paid for by Project Yellowstone.
You won't put as many commercials in as they possibly can before you start that video. You want to get a little closer to the screen. See if you can make out something. There we go. Now you got to be up on close top of the screen in order to see the image, but you're not going to see it from back there. All right, let's bring up you know how we can find the screen? Okay, we can find the screen. This is how we find the screen. So there you go. Now you can see the screen, can't you? The only way the image will pop is you got to have it on a white screen. That's it. Can't use it on our technology. It's not going to work. But if you use it on a white screen, the first thing they do is they contact me because the color's washed out. It's bland. They can't see the screen properly. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to be to see it. There's a contrast level in there somewhere, so that's not going to come up. There we go. All right, so remember, that's 15,000 lumens. That's what's claiming to be 15,000 lumens. 15,000 lumens that can't pull up on a black screen. That is 4,300 lumens at 18 feet back. This is 13 feet back. All right. Turn that off. Take all this stuff out of the equation right now. Now that cost you $95. The projector behind me cost me around $229, and this is a Christie projector at a real 4,300 lumens compared to this projector claiming to be 15,000 lumens, and some of these projectors claim to be 5,000 lumens, but this is the real deal. This is a Christie firing up. Let me see if I got the remote controls for the Christie. I'm looking for it on here. So how do you have a projector back here that's 4,300 lumens outperforming a projector that's supposed to be 15,000 lumens? Football highlights.
Leadership is not just about sitting in the pilot seat. It's about knowing what you're doing.
I'm going to have to answer that later. Now that's 15,000 lumens, and that's what a white sheet of paper looks like against our technology on a projector that's producing a real, not 15, a real 4,300 lumens. The only way you can use those cheap projectors, those knockoffs, you have to be on a white screen. And if you think your picture quality is good because it's shown on a white screen, it's not. It's actually trash too. So basically, you would have to have the real deal in order to see the real picture, and you would need a black screen in order to get the best quality out of your projector. It's an eye-opener. That's why when I watch those YouTube demonstrations of people promoting these projectors saying, oh yeah, the picture quality is nice and the image is huge and so, no. That's because you're using it on a white surface. Anything is going to show up on a white surface. But the problem you're going to have with the white surface is contrast is going to fail, color is going to fail. It is just going to be an ugly image all the way around. So that's why they'll contact me and say, hey, look, this is what my image looks like on my projector. It's washed out, it's faded. I want my image to look like this in a fully lit environment with my windows open. This is what I want. But you can't get that if you're using one of these knockoffs. That's why I try to explain to people. That's why we have on our website. And you can't say if you buy the product, well, I didn't know. I say it all the time in videos, all the time, to stay away from these knockoff projectors. And if you go to our website, every shopping cart, even on our page, we have a page up there for, it's called, it's a fake projector kind of page you can go to. You go to our website, you go to the far end of the menu, and at the menu you will see something that says more. Hit more and you will see a fake projector menu that will pop up. It'll show not only the projectors we don't support, but all the video demonstrations I've done on these knockoff projectors and why you don't go near them.
Jumps on top with that 11-yard completion to big number 87. Practice once in 2 weeks.
4K Fish, YouTube. Now I think I had the knockoff projector at 13. Knockoff projector was at 13. This projector sits back at 18 feet. Let's see. Let's go with Samsung 4K demonstrations. Get a washed out image. Take the lights out. That's why in all those demonstrations I watch those fake knockoff projectors, they will show over and over and over again a white wall. Now, I'm gonna stop it here, and we'll take out the Chrissy projector, knock that out, and we'll bring the Sony up. Bring up our 1000 lumens Sony. So it's going to take time to warm up. It's an old projector. That's not the game plan on that one. Let's get our adjustment here. See, you can get an old projector. It'll do way better than one of these projectors that promise you a whole bunch of bells and whistles. There's the Sony right there. And keep in mind, the Sony is stretched beyond its capability at 600 by 800 res. These projectors were only designed to do 60 inches. So that's why I tell you, you gotta stay away from those crappy projectors. Let me see something around. Let's see if we can get a white wall or something we got in the room that we can use, because it's not going to show up on the cheap projector. You're not going to be able to see it. We got to use a white wall. I'm going to have to use that spot right there in order to try to get the image to pull up on the projector screen. I'm going to have to put it right there, right in that little area right there to get it to pull up on the cheaper projector. So we'll just take all this, put this over here like so. Let's see if we can get. Oh yeah, I knew something. I heard something sliding off. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna break something of mine today. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get me a white screen and just show you, do it on a cheap white projection screen and just show you exactly what you're really, another level of showing what you're getting. Because if I can stop somebody from buying one of these projectors, then, I'll save you some money. And that's not the worst part. These are the ones that are 95, right? I've seen people pay $300 for a knockoff projector and it not work on our technology. Even worse than that, the Valvo projector and I forget, there's a couple other the Chinese knockoff projectors from overseas, the ultra short throws. They show huge red flags, man, huge red flags. The Valvo projector is supposed to be 5,000 lumens. Now you're 5,000 lumens and you're less than a foot away from the screen. You shouldn't have any problems with that screen washing out. You would have a problem more like with contrast and color, the screen being bland, but washing out at 5,000 lumens, less than a half a foot away from a screen. No, you shouldn't be having that problem. And I saw when they were doing a demonstration on that projector, the fellow had to turn out the lights. The projector looked like it was displaying 2,500 lumens.
Experiment. Now they do. Moisturizes deep.
So this is what you got. This is what you get.
The game-changing Nivea Breathable.
Try to bring this up a little bit. As much as I can bring it up. See how washed out that image is? If I bring the lights on even half mass. That's what people are dealing with when they get those projectors. This is supposed to be 15,000 lumens. So they figure, okay, I got 5,000 lumens. I'm gonna hit this on my white wall or get a white screen. I got the perfect setup. Ooh, man. You got some ugly colors in there. Let's see if I can give it a little help. I could bring in, set it on top of something. I'll let it sit on top of the big boy Chrissy. Sit on this projector right here so we can get a higher image from somewhere. Nope. So you're gonna watch this in a full lit environment. You can't watch that screen in a full lit environment, even if you have the lights down. Colors washed out. No, the sad part is because they feel because you can see the image, it's considered watchable. And this is the problem they have when they see our technology and they see that color pop off the screen. Hold on a minute. And nowhere to be found. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. I'm powering up the other one. I can't even stand and look at that. Let's see. Let's see, what's this one right here? It is, I want to make sure I get the name of that on this video right here. Samsung Demo OLED. QOLED. Samsung Demo QOLED. All right. Pause that right there. I wish I had a pause system in here. All right, so you see how bland the colors look on here? See how bland those colors look? Even with it on pause, you have to have that black technology. Like I said, those projectors on a white wall. That's why I always show them on white walls. All right. Now you see the difference? This is a 720p projector I'm using right now. See the colored gloss coming off those high heel shoes, the reflection coming off at the black? That's what they're missing right there. So you can see that again. See the reflection coming off? Now watch when it shows black. See the reflection coming back off? The shine off the shoes, all that? Can't see that on a white screen because you have to have contrast to get that color to pop like that. That's why I tell you stay away from those fake projectors. Now we come over here and look what you got. Now I know someone's going to say, well, Ken, it's not fair because in this environment you're in the dark. So that's not a fair demonstration. Okay, I understand you on that one. We'll take it back a bit on that one. All right, do it again. We'll throw our lights on. We got more light in here now. Look at the screen taking all the light. So you can see the reflection. This is why every time they do these demonstrations, they always do it on a white wall. Now, keep in mind, it's brighter in there than it is in here, right? So if I were to bring these lights up in here, a little bit up, here we go. Well, that's going. We'll try to be merciful. We'll bring it at that, all right? So we can have light here. That's the same in here, all right? So we got the equal amount of light in here, okay? So this projector is not going to show up on my black screen, and it's definitely not going to show up on your white screen in a fully lit environment. Even with the lights out, the color is poor, it's bland, it's washed out, as I said it was going to be. And usually when this happens, the customer will contact me and say, hey, look, I can barely see the image when the lights are on. I want to do the same demonstration you have. I want to use the same black technology, but that projector will not work on our screens because the lumen count is very, very low. Now, keep in mind, some people may say, well, Ken, that's not fair because that projector is 3,400 lumens. Well, that one states to be 15,000 lumens. So, you know, tell you the truth, my projector is way lower than that one. That's supposed to be 4K. 4K or 1080p. That's a 720p projector in the room over there. Except for the difference is that's a name brand and that's the real deal. And that one over there is a fake. It looks like I got wallpaper on my wall, doesn't it? So in order for you to use this projector and get a somewhat decent picture, you would have to be in the dark to do it. You know, people are saying, well, the picture quality looks good in the dark. No, it doesn't. So we'll take the lights out on this one. And we'll go back on here. I'm going to do this one with the lights out. A 720p projector, 3,400 lumens. And this projector is WXGA. And that's what they want their projector, they want the screen to look like. They want it to look like this. But it's not going to happen because, like I said, the projector is fake. Doesn't have the capability to do it. This is also an eye-opener for those who think 720p projectors are outdated technology. No, there's nothing wrong with the projector. It's just the screen that you're using that does not make that projector look like that is outdated. Big difference. Big difference. Well, I'm glad I got this out of the way, but just wanted to show you that. Like I said, stay away from those fake knockoff projectors. You know what I mean? It's a shame because, you know, I don't know how in the world eBay or any of these companies are saying, well, look, we're trying to cut down on fraud, but you let merchants come in and sell these projectors, and people like me will know what it is from the door. All right, I know it's a fake projector. I'm not going to even bother with it. Anybody's been dealing with projectors for a while, we're going to see it, you know, and go and bypass it. But then you got those particular individuals who don't know. They're buying a projector for the first time. They don't know what they're buying. And they may buy one of these projectors and then get home and find out it looks like crap. You know what I mean? Oh, but I saw the reviews and all, but all the reviews were doing white walls, white walls. No one was doing any form of high performance screens. They were just using white walls on these projectors. It's like I showed you when I took that white piece of paper and showed you that's the only way you can see it. You have to have it on a white wall. But if you have it on a white wall, it means the image is going to wash out, color's going to wash out. It's going to look like trash. You don't want it. You want to be able to use it in a fully lit environment. But you can't use it in a fully lit environment. You can't use it in our technology, and you're stuck with it unless you basically do a charge back or try to get your money back one way or another. But like I said, I don't understand how eBay is supposed to cut down on fraud, and you got tons of these projectors on eBay. You got them on Amazon. You got them flooding all over the place. People are buying these projectors, and they're getting, and keep in mind, those of you who are getting taken for the $95 and the $100, you're freaking lucky, because I know people have gotten taken for $3,000 for a projector. That Valve projector, everybody claims it's supposed to be 4K. That is not a 4K projector. It's not a 4K projector. Keep in mind, in this time and era that we live in, where native 4K is a true factor, that you can get native 4K on a projector, I can understand if, say, native 4K didn't exist, all right? Say it didn't exist, all right? Then I can understand for pixel shifting technology, because we don't have native 4K, but we have native 4K. There's no excuse for a projector to sit up there and say, hey, I'm 4K, and you're using pixel shifting technology when native 4K actually exists. It means you don't want to spend the money, and you want to hype up a system that's something that it's not. And the first time I saw that projector come out, man, they were boosting these commercials about this, that, and the other, and 5,000 lumens, 150 inches, 4K. And then I go to look at this projector's website, and I'm looking under the specifications, and it doesn't get the pixel count. It just says 4K. Something's wrong there. That's a huge red flag right there. Another huge red flag is when they show the projector saying it's a whopping 5,000 lumens. But here's the kicker, right? Any demonstration I've seen it, it looks just like that on the wall. At 5,000 lumens on a short throw, it's that bright. And I've noticed that the environment is always dim. It's never like this. You won't see any environments with those projectors being displayed with an environment like this. If they have any kind of lighting, it is away from the screen. This right here, lighting is not anywhere near the screen. This is how much light washes out on this. So consider the fact how much light this screen takes in when I have my projectors playing on here. But you'll see it always in an environment like this or this. And there'll be no windows near the screen. It'll be laying right up against the wall with no windows. The windows will be in the back of it somewhere, and they'll be all, the shades will be pulled down. So like I said, that Valve projector, that thing is not even, it's nowhere near 4K. I got into a bit of a discussion when the projector first came out, and the guy on Facebook, ooh, look at that red panda. I'm sorry, I love red pandas. But anyway, so I got into a discussion by somebody over there on their particular fan page, and they were bragging and boasting about this projector, and I'm like, okay, so you're using pixel shifting technology? And they're like, yes, pixel shifting technology. And I'm like, there's nothing new about that. You know how old pixel shifting technology is, and I've said this before. Anyone who's owned the PS1, if you had the PS1 system, and then you converted over to the PS2, and the PS2 announced at that particular era that they were going to make their systems backwards compatibility, so you can take your PS1 games and you can put them on the PS2. But one of the perks of that was that they had some kind of pixel shifting technology, because if you ever played Tomb Raider on the PS1, the edges were jagged edges, right? But when you had it on the PS2, you could actually go in, you could tap the X button. Remember, the X button was one of those buttons you could press, and you could actually improve the pixels on that by basically them allowing them to be able to push the pixels together to make the image more tighter and more smoother. They're just more smoother. That technology has been out that long. It's been out for a very long time. So it's nothing new. So bottom line is, they're telling you that they're giving you you're buying a projector that fools you into making your mind thinking that you're seeing actual 4K, but you're not seeing 4K. You're not seeing native 4K. You're seeing it pixel shifting where they're pushing the pixels together. This is the part you got to ask yourself right here. Now, you do know the farther you pull back a projector, the pixels start to expand, right? The more pixels you have, the less effect you will have for the screen door effect. You don't know what the screen door effect is. That's when you take a projector, you pull back so far, you get these little squares you can see individually in the wall or in the screen. That's called the screen door effect. Well, the more pixels you have, the less chance you have of seeing that screen door effect. Now, if you have a projector that is already using pixel shifting technology to make up enough, try to make up enough pixels to add up to producing a somewhat foolable 4K image, what happens if you pull that projector back to 150 inches? You would put a ton of strain on those pixels. This is a system trying to generate, it's like poking holes in a bucket and trying to maintain the same water level every time you pour more water into the bucket. It's kind of the same equivalence of what you're trying to do. So somewhere, every time I've seen those screens, I've never seen one maxed out at 150. I usually see them at 120 because I think the screen would start to suffer some deterioration after you would bring it back 150 inches. So like I said, I've seen people call me up with those projectors and say, look, I bought this projector. I got the Valve projector. I paid $3,100 for it. It's 4K. It's 5,000 lumen, ultra short though, laser, blah, blah, blah. That's what they'll tell me. I said, okay, so what's the problem? Well, when I turn the lights on, the image is washed out and faded and stuff like that. Well, that's because of the screen and all that. But how we found out they didn't work is we had a customer, and I said, well, I don't know about that projector, never heard of it before, and I would advise you not to buy the screen paint because it probably won't, screen paint won't support it. But they bought it anyway, and we have pictures of it on our site of what happened when they used that projector. The image came up so dark you couldn't even see it because the projector wasn't producing 5,000 lumens. I think that projector, they said one of them came in at 2,500 lumens, or probably a little lesser than that. And then that Xzoomi projector was supposed to be I can't pronounce the right to begin with. Was supposed to be 5,000 lumens. That projector came in 1,688. That's what that projector came in for the lumen count. Yeah, and these people dropped $3,100. This is one guy, he bought 6 of them. He bought 6 of these ultra short throw projectors to do some kind of display, and he was planning to use a black technology, and I had to tell him, no, buddy, it's not going to work. It's not going to pull up. You're going to have to show that projector on a white screen. So you buy one of those projectors, you have no choice but to show it on a white screen. It will show up on a light gray screen, yeah, but like I said, even if it does show up, the picture quality is going to be like, ugh. Like I said, buyer beware, stay away from them, don't buy them. I don't know what I'm going to do with this projector. Ooh, if the sun comes out today, I can do another demonstration out on the deck when the sun comes out, because I want to do another one of those, the white screen and the splatter screen. I love doing those demonstrations, the splatter screens outside. I'm going to do a blow up. Actually, I should be upstairs on Amazon because I got to buy an inflatable blow up screen. I'm going to do half of it in black and keep the other half white. I'm going to do demonstrations of that right there. So I unplugged this monstrosity from my attachments here and here. Yep. $95, people. $95. You know what I did with $95? $95. I could have bought myself another fixed frame screen for $95. We're 95 plus tax plus shipping. I pay all together probably about $120 for this thing. So I could have got myself a projection screen, or I could have got myself maybe I saw a Christie projector for like $85. I could have got another one of those, or I could have just bought me another Sony projector for $75. Yep. Instead of buying this, but I bought this because I wanted to show you exactly why you don't go near these. And then keep in mind, if you want to email me, because I know I'm going to get emails over this. If you email me, so what about this projector? What about that projector? What about the projector literally called the Dr. J? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? They named the projector a Dr. J. But anyway, they'll say, what about this projector? No, we're not accepting any of them. If you want to go out and if you take the risk, one guy did take the risk, and he did do one of the projectors. It did work, but because he took the risk, it worked. We put the projector on the website. Now keep in mind that Exumi or whatever projector is makes 3 different models of that projector. One of the models did actually work. The other 2 were never tested. So on the website, you'll see that we did post one as being able to work. The other 2, basically, we have them as an unknown, which means you want to take that risk. I mean, you're going to take that risk. But other than that, I wouldn't do it. You just go out and buy yourself a used 720p projector and just get a better image. You know what I mean? Knock off projectors. I should take it outside. That's going to be really bad if I take it outside. Yeah, I think I will. All right. I think tomorrow I'm going to be testing out. Right now, working on an underwater projection screen. You can submerge the screen underwater. It's pretty much used for something we're designing for an aquarium. And we had this technology before, we just never really put any effort into it. But we do have a technology that will allow us to submerge screens underwater, and you can produce images underwater with projectors as low as 200 lumens. It's front and rear technology. It's something we had a long time ago, but we're bringing it out again. The reason why is because there's a few aquariums, a couple of companies that are interested in basically doing a new form of advertising for, I don't know, for fish tanks and stuff like that. People have fish tank setups and stuff like that. And imagine if you can advertise your company underwater. I would not advise putting fish in the tank with the whatchamacallit, but with the projector pushing through, because that might not come out too well. But you know, it's a new way of advertising. So I'm going to be using this tank over here because I don't have fish in this tank, and I never plan to have fish ever in this tank at all. So I figured I'll probably cut out a piece of this material I have downstairs. I'll coat it with this technology. I have to grab one of the old books upstairs and figure out where it's at and make it. And then we're going to do some fish displays right through that fish tank right there while the screen is actually sitting underwater. That'll be fun. All right. That'll be for tomorrow. All right, I got to go. Thank you all for your time. If the weather is good tomorrow, we'll do another demonstration on the splatter screen. I love doing those demonstrations. And we'll do a few more paint on demonstrations on top of that. All right, got to go. Thank you for your time, and God bless.